Hit it! Come on! All right, cut that shit. Cut that shit. Salute, Amp Unit. You guys hear me good? What up, everybody? We're still under the weather, believe it or not. Rome wasn't built in a day. I just needed to get pumped up for this review, man, and sometimes some jams, man. Some jams will get you in that fucking zone. Even when you feel like shit and you have 100-degree plus fever, you can fucking build your way out of it if you're amplified enough. It's a little bit of lesson in life. Adrenaline is one hell of a drug. Adrenaline can get you out of anything. When you're feeling like shit, adrenaline. I'm telling you, man, it's the very best. What's up, everybody? There's going to be times I may have to catch my breath during this stream. There's going to be times where you guys want to give me a second. Maybe I'm going to have a mental lapse because I have had a 5-6 day fever by now. So cut me a little bit of slack, but I had to do this review, man. First of all, it's a good, the bad, and the ugly, man. These are my most fun videos of the year. It's when I get to do a good, the bad, and the ugly. The best of the month is always the good, the bad, and the ugly reviews, man. This is where we're going to dissect it better than anybody in the community, I assure you, because we're not just going to give our thoughts and opinions. It's not just a review. For those of you just tuning in, this is not your grandma's review. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly where we get amplified. And every single match on the main card is going to get a tally in one of these columns. Every match will either go into the good, the bad, or the ugly. Now, that's the first rule. Every match has to get a tally. Number two is you want to stay away from the ugly column. Because if anything goes into the ugly column, at the end, when we do the final tally to find out if this was a good or bad event, every single ugly is going to turn into two bads. That'll drastically change the outcome of the decision being made on if this was a good or bad pay-per-view. The third rule is if there's a tiebreaker, we would then go to the kickoff show, but that was pretty non-existent. Or I hope I don't have to talk about anything on that damn pre-show. So we're going to hope that we don't end in a tie. How's that? But only main show matches, man. Everything's going to get a tally in one of these columns, man. So I'm glad to have you guys on board. I know this is different, man. It's a Sunday morning for some of you guys, early Sunday afternoon. Maybe depending on what country you're in, it's Sunday night, Monday morning. Who knows? But we don't usually do a live at this time. So for those of you that are tuning in live now and will over the course of the next hour plus, what's up? To the thousands of you that are going to catch this probably within the next 24 to 48 hours and you weren't able to catch it live, thank you for still clicking and enjoying the amplification, man. I appreciate it. Before I get into the event itself, I have to do a cold open here, and it's about Brock Lesnar. Because I want you guys to understand why I am upset about this. I want you guys to shut the fuck up. I got a fucking advertisement playing during BC's cold open. Excuse you. I don't care if you're making BC money or not. I ain't gonna fuck out of here. Hold on. Let me click on it. I got playback. All right. I think I'm good. I don't know what the fuck the tube is. Now the tube all of a sudden wants to play ads on my shit. Now you want to make BC money when I have to do a cold open. So anyway, what I have to do is explain why I am this upset about this, right? Because everybody is doing it. I'm seeing everybody start to say, well, Big E's reign was kind of mediocre. So is this really a bad thing, BC? This is a fucking horrible thing. Just because somebody's title reign was bad doesn't mean that you don't give it effort. You don't at least give it a chance. You don't blame the title holder all the time. No, you have to blame the promoter. Shinsuke Nakamura's IC title reign has been trash, not because Shinsuke can't deliver a good run. It's because Vince McMahon gave him shit. Asuka never even had a women's championship run because Vince McMahon gave her shit. Finn Balor in his mid-card title reign, don't get me started. And I can go on and on. Tag team division, irrelevant. Can't even speak on that. Sammy Guevara. Everybody's all of a sudden okay because Sammy's title run wasn't great, so give it to Cody. There's no problem with that. What the fuck are you talking about? Every time Sammy Guevara was given the ball, he hit fucking home runs and scored touchdowns. Did you see that Jay Lethal match when he took the title from Miro? Do I need to keep going? But you're going to have a main event guy like Cody get the mid-card title and make Sammy a transitional champion. And in this case, you're going to have Brock Lesnar, a dude that wasn't even in the WWE title picture. He's over here in left field with Roman in the Universal title, but because Roman comes up with the Vince McMahon overstretches his boundaries, thrusts Brock Lesnar into this, what was a Fatal 4, now Fatal 5-way when he has no business being there, other than Vince McMahon being totally erratic with his booking. And then not only that, but he has Brock Lesnar defeat Big E. Not just somebody else in the match, literally just Big E. And not just in about 20, 25, 30 minutes, no, in less than 9 minutes. And people are okay with this. They're saying, well, Big E's reign was lackluster. What the fuck are you talking about? Is that Big E's fault? Vince McMahon never gave a fuck, bro. Vince McMahon didn't give a shit, and he never gave Big E the time of day. Look at his booking, man. Just look at his booking. That'll tell you everything you need to know. But wrestling fans have had it. They've been abused for so long that they're willing to go along with everything. In AEW, they're willing to go along with Cody winning the championship over Sammy. Even though anybody with common sense and logic knows that's absolute atrocious booking. You can't just make Sammy a transitional champion. That can't be what this was all about. Tony Khan just has to get a little better with Sammy's booking. Same thing with WWE. Everybody's okay because Big E's title reign was kind of non-existent. That's not Big E's fault. So you just say, oh, that's okay, pass it to the next guy, his title. We're going to do that nonstop. There's a reason we said that about Asuka. There's a reason we said that about Rhea and Nikki Ash and Finn Balor and Shinsuke. And so many others. It's because it's Vince McMahon who doesn't give a fuck. Everybody is 50-50 booked into irrelevancy. The titles are just basically toys that you would get on a shelf at Target. Those are probably more prestigious. So what I'm saying is you're going to keep playing this game then. If you're searching for somebody to be a meaningful champion that jumps off the screen and you're captivated by, Vince McMahon is going to have to get off his fucking ass and start doing work. Start caring. Otherwise, it is never going to change, man. What happened to Kofi Kingston 2 years ago, and we hoped it was never going to happen again. We were hoping that, say, if somebody like Big E ever gets the title, man, his booking will be better than what happened to Kofi. And 2 years later, just because it's a new year doesn't mean it's not the same old shit. Big E last night suffered the same fate as Kofi Kingston. The only difference is Kingston lost his championship in 10 seconds to Brock. Big E lost his in under 9 minutes. 2 years have gone by. I hope you guys are understanding this cold open. Why wrestling fans get so upset. It's because this is a new year, supposedly, right? This is the fresh beginning. And last night, we're off to the same shit. Just hand the title to Brock Lesnar. It's their safety net. Roman went down, no problem. Give a belt to Brock. Everyone will go home happy. Who are you building in the process? You guys claim Big E's title reign was pathetic. It sucked. It's boring. It's not Big E's fault. We've been saying for fucking years, Big E has all the talent in the world and could have a meaningful title reign. You just have to give him the fucking chance. Could you imagine a program with Big E and Brock Lesnar? But you don't have your champion be a transitional champion, because that's what happened. I believe this dude just won the belt in September, mid-September, correct? It's the first day of January last night. That's less than 4 months. That is called a transitional champion. Just like Sammy Guevara over in AEW. And I didn't accept it there, and I ain't going to accept it here. It is absolute bullshit, though, that as a community, this is what we do now. We just say, oh, well, they had a boring reign, so I'm okay with this decision. Instead of holding the old bastard in Stamford, Connecticut responsible. Because that's what we should be doing. Holding that son of a bitch responsible. Because how do you fuck up Bobby Lashley in that title reign? A guy like Bobby Lashley with all the talent in the world and the perfect mouthpiece and MVP, and he holds that championship, and it was boring. It sucked, right? Kofi Kingston, all the talent in the world. And he's a good mouthpiece for himself. Title reign sucked, right? Shinsuke Nakamura, all the talent in the world. Title reign sucks right now. Even with Rick Boogs playing him down to the ring. Big E, all the talent in the world, can speak for himself. But his title reign sucked. Do you guys see the common denominator? His name is Vince McMahon. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. VKM. And until this son of a bitch starts to care about his championships and his champions, we're going to play this game nonstop. Or every fucking title reign is going to seem boring and meaningless, irrelevant. And when the title changes hands and the champion looks like a schmuck, we're going to say, I'm okay with it. It's okay. Wasn't doing anything anyway. Admit it, Pacey. But I'm not going to fucking blame Bobby Lashley for a bad title reign. I'm not going to blame Shinsuke Nakamura or Finn Balor or Kofi Kingston or Big E. I have to start putting blame on Vincent Kennedy. You may think, especially if you're an adult watching the BC Amplified channel, that I'm just an entertainer on this platform, right? You see my antics. I yell and I scream, right? I'm like a fucking real life lunatic, man. So if you're an adult and you watch this channel, you say, well, BC is just, he's an entertainer more than anything, right? There's no way that this dude gets that upset over pro wrestling. YouTube is the new television, basically, and BC is an entertainer on the platform. He's the star of YouTube. So he's going to over-dramatize. He's going to just a little bit or a lot of bit take it over the top. And to an extent, you'd be correct. I take the things that boggle my dome piece in pro wrestling and the things that greatly piss me off, and I amplify them. No question. I absolutely do that. So I take something that irritates me while I watch the show, and when this camera goes on, the red light goes on, and this microphone is on, I amplify the problem, no doubt, so that you guys are entertained as I speak and drop knowledge. Otherwise, there's no reason hundreds would want to watch me and thousands will end up catching this. Over the next 48 hours, thousands of people. Why? Because there is an entertainment aspect to it, no doubt. If you don't have the gift to gab, if you don't have knowledge, if you're not captivating, you ain't going to draw an audience. So I understand that. You'd be correct. BC is an entertainer. But do not get it twisted. This shit actually boggles my dome piece and infuriates me. Of course, when the video is done or the live stream is done, BC is not, if my favorite wrestler didn't win or it was just a bad show, BC's not walking into Starbucks the next morning and power bombing baristas. I'm not hollering at everybody I come across because I saw a bad wrestling show the night before. No. Obviously, there's an entertainment aspect. You clicked on a video from BC Amplified. Do the math. I mean, the title says it all. But just because I'm entertaining does not mean that this shit does not infuriate BC. BC is not stampeding into Starbucks and power bombing baristas, no. But BC is absolutely infuriated with the shit that I have seen from Vince McMahon over the last 10 years. Obviously, I'm not that angry over pro wrestling. I'm going to start screaming the next morning at everybody off of this channel. But don't get it twisted. BC amplifies emotions on this channel to the most extreme measures to get his point across. Big E losing that championship is part of a bigger problem. This is very real emotion. It's not just entertainment to me. Very real emotion. Big E losing that championship last night drew the bigger issue in the community. This is a recycling problem. It's a vicious cycle. Somebody gets a championship, Vince McMahon puts no effort or stock into the title reign, and then he drops the championship, and by then everybody is blaming the champion for having a bad title reign. At what point do we break that cycle? Let's take this Big E and Brock Lesnar situation, for instance. Last night when Roman Reigns was taken out of the WWE Day 1 main event, forget the fact that WWE knew about this ahead of time and didn't leak this information to about 6 p.m. Eastern time, a couple of hours before the show. But WWE knew that Roman Reigns was not going to be able to compete earlier in the day, earlier that morning. And I'm hearing word over the recent days they knew Roman Reigns was not competing. And you continue to advertise to suck every penny out of anybody that was going to tune in for that match and then go, oops, breaking news. Wasn't that breaking though, Vince? You knew about it. That's shady business, man. When you continue to promote something that you know you ain't going to deliver just so people don't cancel last minute. Bro, that's shady business. But forget that fact. The fact that the owner of World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon, then recklessly overstretched means by thrusting Brock Lesnar into the Raw title picture and even had Lesnar defeat Big E in less than 9 minutes, all after we saw the same thing play out 2 years ago with Kofi Kingston, when Kingston lost in 10 seconds. And that led to nothing but a bad title reign because of Vince McMahon. And here we are, day one of a new year, and it's the same story. Big E reduced to a transitional champion status because Vince continues to erratically book. If you ask how people can get this upset over pro wrestling, right? If you're wondering what that whole cold open was, BC, you're talking about going into Starbucks and power bombing baristas. First of all, no. I said I'm not that angry over pro wrestling to do that the next morning. But people will tune into a channel like this, and they'll see me entertaining, they'll see me getting amplified, and they will think, is he really that angry over pro wrestling? Is this lunatic that I am watching on YouTube right now, is he really that upset over pro wrestling? Or is this just because YouTube is an entertainment juggernaut? It's the new TV. And I can tell you, I can assure you, yes, it's entertainment we amplify. But these are very real emotions and very real anger. When I watch the show, this is what frustrates me to the highest of degrees and the highest of measures. I assure you, when I watch something like I saw last night and Big E drop that championship to become a transitional champion, not even at a WrestleMania or even a Royal Rumble, but a day one pay-per-view, a fucking, I can't even call it a glorified Raw or SmackDown because I don't even know if it reaches those measures. And everybody goes, well, I'm okay with it because Big E didn't have a good title reign. And I'm thinking, how do you not look at Big E and not feel bad for this guy? He wasn't given a chance to have a good title reign. Look at his title reign. He was never given a chance. So you say I'm okay with it because he wasn't doing anything for me anyway, BC. And you know what I'll say? I'll say I feel bad for Big E because he was not just done dirty last night. Big E was done filthy last night. Recklessly filthy last night. This is the shit that needs to stop, guys. I'll wrap this cold open up now, but this is the shit that needs to stop. Champions have to start being booked as champions again. This is not Bobby Lashley's fault. It's not Kofi Kingston's fault. It's not Shinsuke Nakamura's fault. It's not Asuka's fault. It's not Big E's fault. It is VKM's fault. It's not Bruce Pritchard's fault. It's not even No Balls Triple H's fault. It's not even Nicholas Khan's fault. It's not even Johnny Laurinaitis' fault. It's not Kevin Dunn's fault. It is Vince McMahon's fault, the owner of the company. After 10 fucking years of this erratic, reckless, destructive booking, we have to start holding him accountable. Otherwise, guys, this is how we're going to do business the next several years, just like we've been the last several years. We're going to get a champion. They're going to be booked like shit. We're going to be bored. And when they become a transitional after 3 or 4 months, we're going to say, it was time anyway. But we were so high on Big E, remember? We were all like, oh, Big E deserves it. Big E's going to have a killer reign. And then when Vince books him like shit, Vince has everybody right where he wants them. To the point where we're blaming Big E for a bad title reign. This shit has to stop, man. And I understand it's not going to totally change until Vince McMahon walks away from the company. That's what it's going to take. Pains me to say that. I've been watching since I was a little BC. Fucking 80s, bro. Vince McMahon was a genius back then. It pains me to say that this company won't be back on track unless Vince McMahon is out of the company, but I don't see any other way. At this point, it is self-sabotage to his own company that you would take somebody like Big E, who just won the title in September, mid-September, and you made him a transitional champion to lose it at day one in a match. First of all, there's somebody who wasn't even in the match until hours before. Just because Roman went home with the co, why is Brock being thrust in it? You could have used Brock in a million other ways. He didn't have to be winning a WWE title. And it makes me wonder, was Brock supposed to take the title from Roman? And was Big E supposed to lose his championship? Was it supposed to be Kevin Owens? Who got screwed last night? If Big E was supposed to be transitional, who got screwed last night? Was it Bobby Lashley that got screwed? He didn't look pleased at all last night. Bobby looked pissed. Was it Owens? Was it Rollins? Who got screwed if Big E was supposed to lose that belt? Because plans changed right over to Brock. The second Brock was into that match, that was it. Brock was getting that title. And I told you guys in yesterday's video. But somebody got screwed last night if Big E was supposed to drop that. And I don't know who it was. But I still wouldn't have been okay with the decision. How angry do wrestling fans get? How angry is BC really in these videos? Or is it just for show? Is this just entertainment? Yes, I amplify the entertainment. Yes, I amplify the issues. But it is very real anger and very real emotion. Because I've seen this, what happened last night to Big E, I've seen it play out too many fucking times. And I see people okay with it now more than ever. It's okay, man. I'm okay with Big E losing it. He wasn't doing anything for me, and we say that for everybody now. Bobby Lashley, Kofi, and everybody. It has to stop, guys. That's my cold open. Now we can get on with the actual review of the good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to go over that much more, trust me. And by the way, it's not that we don't think Lesnar is a realistic champion, or that we wouldn't love Brock versus Lashley for the title. But the booking of Big E trumps all of that. You can't just say Big E's title reign sucked, so might as well try something else. You got to blame Vince for destructive booking. And that's my go-home message to that, man. But it's not that Brock isn't a realistic champion. I don't want anybody to think that Brock doesn't look good with the title or Brock wouldn't be a good champion. That's not the point. But you can't raise somebody up by tearing somebody else down. You can't just thrust a Brock Lesnar title reign when he had no business even being in that title picture. He had no business with any of those dudes. And you just thrust a championship on him. And over here, you give no fucking attention at all to how Big E's going to look in all of this. So that's my drive message here, man. What's up, everybody? Damn, man, that was just my cold open, and I want to thank the couple of hundred of you that already smashed that up, man. That'll help the algorithm for the thousands that are going to tune into this later after we're done being live, and it goes up on the channel. That's when thousands are going to end up catching this. So for the couple of hundred of you that took a moment for Under the Weather BC, man, I'm going to try to give you guys everything I have in this review. Let's have a lot of fun, man. That was my cold open for the first half an hour. I thank you guys for letting me just spew and get that off my chest. Because I needed to. Because what happened to Big E last night, it doesn't matter if you felt it was a boring title reign. It has to stop. This company is doing this too often, and that is the reason that the ratings are the worst they've ever been in WWE history. The month of December has garnered 1.5 after another. That's never, ever been done before in WWE. And it's for reasons like that, guys. I have proof. This isn't just my opinion. I'm saying that was not good. And I'm giving you facts to back it up. The ratings will tell you everything you need to know. So we're going to start this at a clean slate. 0, 0, 0, good, bad, and the ugly. Every single match on the main show, the main card, 6 matches, I believe. Every match is going to get at least 1 tally. Stay away from the ugly. If you go into the ugly column, that'll turn into 2 bads at the end of the show. And that's it, man. Let's get into this shit. Supers, guys. I'll make sure that I smash out supers in a little bit as well. I don't know if in between this review or maybe I'll save them to the end, especially Dave Mealy, man. I saw that Hundy bomb, dude. I saw that Hundy you threw over to BC. It ain't just going to be coffees. That's going to be teas as well, dude. But I'll get to all of that at the end of this vid, guys. Let me get into this. First match on the card was New Day versus Usos. All right, now I'm gonna catch flack for this. You guys are gonna think I'm a little bit more of an asshole than usually. BC, is it the fever? BC, is it because you're under the weather and you just don't give a fuck? Yeah, that's true. I'm not in the mood for any bullshit today. We're gonna have some fun, but I'm not in the mood for bullshit, and I'm not gonna beat around the bush. Everybody is talking about how good the match was last night, right? Between the Usos and the New Day. Are you astonished? Are you shocked that the Usos and the New Day was a good match? I'm being serious. We've seen them 1,467 times. They always put on a good match. Vince McMahon uses this as a fucking crutch every fucking time. Vince McMahon uses this as a scapegoat match because he refuses to build a relevant tag team division. A tag team division with a pulse. So every year, like clockwork, you can count on 74 matches between the New Day and the Usos. And every time it'll be good. And every time when it's done, we'll go on social and we'll say, this was amazing. And nobody will give a fuck that the entire tag division for 10 years has been built around these 2 teams. If you're counting on good wrestling to make me put this into a good column, if it's just good wrestling, I can find that at the local bingo hall every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Billy Buttfuck McGee and Danny Dipshit Dugenheimer taking on Paulie Walnuts and my local pizza delivery guy, Luigi Lugnuts. A damn good tag match. And I've seen it 8,552 times, that match. And they put on a banger every time. Now, you see, I don't need to go to a WWE pay-per-view, the first of the year, a new year, looking for fresh and organic. I don't need to go to a WWE pay-per-view and see the same fucking match that I've seen 1,467 times. But because Vince McMahon has trained his audience to be trained fucking dipshitted, demented seals, and will clap over everything. No, not BC. The Usos are one of my favorite tag teams. For me to say this, it pains me to say that. The Briscoe brothers are my favorite tag team. You guys know that. But right underneath the Briscoe brothers is the Usos. But how many times are you going to ask BC to watch the same fucking match. And now you want me on this review this morning to put that into the good column because they had a good wrestling match. I told you this was not a normal review show. We don't just review the wrestling match. We review the booking, the story, what it leads to, the culmination, the climax, and everything in between. You may be upset where I put this in about a minute, but that's just tough shit. On this channel, you're going to get the utmost realist, most brutally honest truth imaginable. If you can't handle it, you got to hit the bricks. I love the Usos. I respect the shit out of the New Day. I can't take these two in a tag team match anymore. This was an 18-minute match. Jey Uso defeats Kofi Kingston via the old school Dudley Boys 3D finisher, which Pat McAfee is now calling the 1D. So obviously they told McAfee to call it that, down from day one. And the Usos retain their titles. This is absolutely the right call. They should not be dropping those titles till WrestleMania. That's obvious. The problem was who the fuck is taking it from the Usos? Vince McMahon, just like Big E. Vince McMahon refuses to build new stars. So don't be fucking shocked if you get the New Day and the Usos again at WrestleMania. And of course, 31 times before WrestleMania. Atlanta loved this match. 3 different times chanting, "This is awesome." Was the match good? Yes. Good match. They always put on a good match. Was it awesome? No, of course not. When you've seen the same fucking sequence from these two same teams 1,467 times, it's no longer awesome to somebody with common sense and logic that has remembered the other 1,466 times. We literally can't even say, yeah, but this was one of their best ones, basically. No. We've used that fucking line too many times. There are past 100 battles. That's all we've been telling each other to try to say how great the match is between these two teams. We always say the same thing when they're done wrestling. I know they wrestled a lot, but this was one of their best matches. No, it's not. These are the same sequences, guys. This is the same match I've seen 1,467 times. And here we are in 2022 on a fucking pay-per-view, and we're getting it again with no storyline. You guys got to remember, there was no storyline to this. They just wrestled each other every week leading up to the pay-per-view. That was the story. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly review, so we are going to do this as fair as possible. Right? Let's call it down the middle. Just so you guys see, I'm not trying to be a fucking dick here. I'm not just an asshole. Match was good, no doubt. Not shocked by that. I knew we were going to get a good match. Vince knows that. That's why he uses that as a crutch. It's New Day Usos. I don't have to build a tag division because I can keep going back to that one fucking match 74 times every year. The match was good. The booking? The lack of any story being told to get to that point? Completely ugly. So I'm going to meet in the middle here to show you guys that I'm not just a fucking dick. And this first match, this is gonna fucking shock you. I don't care, man. This has got to be a truthful review. And the booking matters. That is why pro wrestling sucks today, at least Vince McMahon's WWE, and why it's in the shitter with 1.5 Monday Night Raw ratings consistently. It's because of bad decisions, poor booking, irrelevant, non-existent storylines, not building new characters, larger-than-life superstars. I have to start holding Vince accountable. I'm sorry, Usos. I'm sorry, New Day. Not sorry. That goes into the bad column. You can give it to me, Unit. You can tell me I'm an asshole. That's fine, bro. You can tell me I'm a dick for doing that, but if you heard my words, I hope you at least understand where BC's coming from. I'll be the bad guy in the community. But everything I've spoken is true. You know I'm trying to help pro wrestling. I'm trying to help WWE get better. Because don't think for 1 second that Tony Khan won't come up in the near future and knock Vince McMahon upside his dome piece. Again, it's my second favorite tag team, the Usos, right underneath the Briscoe brothers. It pains me that I have to put it there. The match was good. But I don't go to the movie theater to see the same fucking movie that I've been seeing for 10 years over and over again. If I got downtime, some free time, I want to pop in a fucking DVD or go on demand and find one of my favorite movies and watch it again, okay. But I'm not going to go to the fucking theater 74 times every year and see the same movie. I don't need to be in 2022 and watch the same fucking match I've been watching for 10 years. It's not against the Usos and the New Day, guys. It is against Vince McMahon and not giving a fuck about his audience. I have to hold Vince McMahon accountable for lack of effort or care for the pay-per-view, lack of a viable tag division, and lack of keeping things fresh for the fans. I put that in the bad for all of us. I hope in time you'll realize it. We're going to move on to match number 2, guys. Switching off between tea and coffee here. I'm under the weather, man. Thank you for 2 cents. Let's hit 300 on those ups, guys, before we go into match number 2, if you don't mind. Woo! BC's under the weather, man, but I'm giving you everything I got. So we got one in the bad already, man. We're going into match number 2. This was Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. This was a 9-minute match. Pre-match, we got 2 minutes of bad jokes by Moss. So that didn't set the tone very fucking well. The match was actually decent. I got to give my boy Drew some props, man. I'm not going to totally annihilate Drew on this. Madcap was okay. I've seen better Moss matches, actually. But the match was decent. I'm not going to hang my hat on that, good or bad. Just one major issue. It had no business being on the pay-per-view. It's not that hard to figure out, guys. Why is this match on a pay-per-view? People are literally paying money for Peacock. Peacock! The Peacock network. And you're putting Madcap, Moss, and Drew on the pay-per-view. It has no business. This is barely a SmackDown match. And I'm being generous. The match was nothing more than a SmackDown contest, and I am being generous. The finish was just as anticlimactic as Drew hits a Claymore and Moss takes the L. I'm not even kidding if you thought, okay, well, it's a subpar match booking-wise, BC. But the finish will be cool and lead to something badass. No, Drew did a Claymore. Moss ate the fucking L. That was it. A couple of segments later, backstage, Drew McIntyre gets beat up by Moss and Baron. And now they're declaring that Drew McIntyre now has an injury. So what that tells me, guys, is now we get to see this more now. Now we're going to see more Drew McIntyre Baron matches, more Madcap Moss and Drew matches. Well, the storyline can't be they just face each other every fucking show. That's a poor storyline. Back in the day, it was weird. You want to hear how we used to do pro wrestling back in the day, guys? You would build a storyline for a few months, and then at the pay-per-view, you would have the culminating, first time ever one-on-one matchup between these superstar entities. Or if it was a tag team match, 2-on-2. Nowadays, to get to a pay-per-view match, you just wrestle each other 100 times before, so everyone has already seen the match 100 times. And by the time we get to the pay-per-view, nobody gives a fuck. Except for the trained, demented seals that buy a ticket to the shows and clap at everything. Again, BC reviews this through many lenses. What was the story going into this? There was none. The only thing I can remember story-wise going into Drew and Madcap was Baron Corbin and Madcap trying to pull the sword out of the desk. So they were just fucking stroking McIntyre's sword. and they couldn't get it out of the desk. That's the only thing I remember storyline-wise. That tells you how anticlimactic the story was. It was non-existent going into it. So what's the story going in? There is none. Why is this on pay-per-view? There is no reason. Filler. Because the whole pay-per-view was a filler. What does this do for the future? Nothing. Backstage, a couple matches later, Drew just gets beat up by the same guy he just beat. So Vince has no plan. He's just going to recycle this. Because that's what Vince does. For years he's been doing this. He recycles. It takes a lot less effort and energy if you just recycle. Was there meaning to any of this? No. So that's my thing, man. When I ask all these questions, it's nothing against Drew or Madcap. The match was actually decent for a 9-minute match. But when I raise every other question that I need to put a tally in one of these columns, there's only one place that I can put this, guys. And again, this is going to be all, basically, you're an asshole, man. I understand that. But it still has to go. Somewhere. Where's it going to go? What do you guys think? Bad or ugly? It ain't going into the good for all the reasons I told you. I don't know if there's enough to put it into the ugly, though. I don't want to do my boy Drew that bad. So I'm going to put this into the bad column. Now, I got to be honest here, man. I don't have my 2. I don't have my fucking 2. So, oh man, if somebody's just tuning in, man, this is going to look like an 11 in the bad. Oh, please, I hope people don't think this is just an 11. There you go. We're live, man. This isn't pre-recorded, guys. This is fucking live. This is as live as you can get. I lost my 2. Probably jump shit with my blue marker over to AEW. They'll only do AEW reviews. The 2 probably refuses to have any part of this fucking review. Anyway, that's not 11, guys. That's just 2 in the bads. Relax. But we're 2 matches into this motherfucker. And we already got 2 in the bad. And it's not even directly to the wrestlers in the matches. And that's what's sad. But until pay-per-views start feeling like pay-per-views again, until pay-per-views have a pulse, until there's matches on a pay-per-view that we've been looking forward to, that's what you're gonna get, man. And that's unapologetically going to be put in there. As we go into match number 3, I won't hesitate to do the same fucking thing again. This was RK Bro versus the Street Profits. This was a 12-minute match. Match was good. Finish was anticlimactic. RKO from Orton to Montez Ford with an assist from Matt Riddle launching Ford. Pretty cool, I guess. RK Bro retains and celebrates with Amigos? Migos? I don't know who these people are in the ring. I think they were amigos. I don't know. I listen to fucking Phil Collins in the morning with a nice fucking cup of coffee. Something happened on the way to heaven. Easy love, huh? No? Follow you, follow me? Migos. Migos, they're a hip-hop group. Okay, well, I was introduced to them last night. I don't know what the fuck they were doing celebrating with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. But if Atlanta's going to pop for it, then fuck it. Are they from Atlanta, maybe? Maybe that was a little bit of a... Maybe they're from Atlanta. Who knows, right? And it was a little hometown, hey, we know we're giving you a fucking subpar tag match. Here's the Amigos. Oh, they are from Atlanta. Okay. Okay, well, that's different then. Okay. All right, so that's a little cool for the hometown crowd then. Get a little fucking act. Atlanta, okay, so some Atlanta boys. All right, so that's pretty cool then, man. If I'm from somewhere and I support, so you know, I didn't have a fucking clue. You know, are they big wrestling fans? Maybe. You know, Johnny Knoxville just declared that he's entering the Royal Rumble in 26, 27 days. John Knoxville is joining the Rumble, guys. I mean, you don't think that's absolutely... I mean, this is going to be a facade, and I don't even mind Knoxville, and I know we're going to get a giggle, right? He's going to do something funny. He's probably going to have somebody like Commander Sneeze or Almost. He's going to have them flick Johnny Knoxville into like the 20th row. So we might have an ooh-ah moment with the John Knoxville, but this is what I mean about just like, you're not giving your superstars any time of day as it is. And you're going to put all your focus, time, and energy into John Knoxville doing a goofy moment at the Royal Rumble. And this is why pro wrestling's in the shitter. Studio, man. Studio. Little Phil Collins there, no doubt. But, I've had enough with this bullshit. I didn't feel like this was a pay-per-view worthy match. I didn't get a feeling of... I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm letting you guys take this one, man. RK Bro versus Street Profits in this 12-minute match, and Montez Ford just eating a clean loss, and Street Profits just collecting another fucking L just when we thought they had momentum. And Orton is now still attached to fucking Matt Riddle into 2022. I'm going to let you guys decide. Was match number 3 with RK Bro versus Street Profits, was it good, bad, or ugly? Take it to the chat. You guys are now live. Yeah, I see all my tried and trues up in here too, man. What's up, everybody? I'm seeing bad straight across the board. It was not ugly. There was nothing ugly in the match. It was pretty decent. Unfortunately, I don't want to put decent into the good column anymore. I'm done with it, man. Pay-per-views need to feel like pay-per-views. I didn't see enough good to put it there either, though. You guys are exactly correct. I'm going to go with you guys here, man. You guys have spoken loud and clear. My amplified unit has come together, as you're still seeing people come in and saying it. My amplified unit has come together, and they decided for me. And we can take this fucking what looked like an 11 off the board. Please tell me I got my 3. I got my 3. There we go. 3 matches in. Thank you, unit, for participating too, by the way, man. I clearly, I definitely did not have I didn't know where I was putting this yet. I just wanted to take it to you guys and let you decide. So thank you for voicing up, voicing loud, and putting that 3 in that column. This is a statement that we're making in this live stream, guys. This is a statement review that we're making. None of these matches were bad per se in its own. In fact, all 3 matches were at least decent. Match number 1 with the Usos in the New Day, good. It's not about that anymore, man. It is about a pay-per-view feeling like a pay-per-view. Matches on a pay-per-view that don't feel like they should be there. There's no pulse to them. What we're doing right now, guys, is we're holding the company accountable. I hope you understand that. So what we're doing right now is actually pretty cool. Some people are going to think we're just fucking assholes. That's fine if they think the Amplified Unit is a bunch of assholes. No, we're very passionate wrestling fans. We want to see everybody succeed. This is the way you do it, by being truthful, but by not coddling the balls of one company or another. Because everybody else has a fucking agenda these days. Not BC, man. I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for reviews like this because I'm so critical. I'm such a negative reviewer. I'm such an asshole, man. I dissect it too harshly. No, maybe it's not too harshly. Maybe it's so damn honestly. We're going into match number 4. Oddly enough, aside from Roman and Brock, before it was announced that Roman was taken out and Brock was stupidly added to another title match, I was actually looking forward to Brock and Roman a little bit. Can't believe it, but the story has been immaculate. That's what I mean about what a story can do for a match at a pay-per-view. The story's been great with Paul Heyman in the middle. This is the first time that Brock and Roman were going to face each other that I gave a fuck. Because the story was the best it's ever been between the two. That's what I mean about story. Aside from that, it was only Edge and Miz because they at least had a story. Now, I know. Let me say this off the jump. I know a lot of you guys were maybe not looking forward to Miz and Edge. And when it was all said and done, maybe you thought it was just a blah match. That's fine. What I liked about Edge and Miz is it was one of the only matches on the card that actually had a story. Whether you liked it or not, I totally get it. That's in the eye of the beholder. That's your prerogative. But it was at least a story, right? So when you got to the pay-per-view, this is what we used to get in pro wrestling. When you got to the pay-per-view, you knew why they were wrestling. It wasn't for a title. It was a grudge match. These two have beef. I can get on board with that. Edge versus Miz. This is a 20-minute match. Maurice is in Miz's corner, and Edge comes down with the old Brood theme. Now, BC is really old school. So when I hear that theme of the Brood, I can't help but not think of Gangrel. And it's almost not right without Gangrel not coming down to the ring with that. Now, we heard this a few months ago in Edge with the whole Brood theme. So this is not the first time. But this time, I was really hoping maybe Gangrel was going to do something. I know, like, what would he possibly do? Miz isn't out there with another dude. John Morrison isn't with him, obviously, anymore. Morrison got told to fucking hit the bricks. So he's just got Maurice. So, like BC was saying, man, last night makes perfect sense to be the debut or the re-entry of Beth Phoenix. I've been telling you guys that for weeks since she left NXT, that last night was the time to do it. And we're going to get to that, too. But I just feel like Gangrel in that music is synonymous, man. And just hearing that music without Gangrel, something is empty for BC with that. So I just wanted to speak on that as well, man. Mad props to Gangrel, man. Salute to Gangrel. I know Gangrel has watched some BC Amplified in the past. If you are watching right now, Gangrel, much love, brother. And respect. But yeah, man. But it was still cool to hear the theme and see Edge down. I just, Gangrel's the shit, man. I do miss that dude. This was the longest match of the night to this point. To this point, 20 minutes. So not only did they have one of the only feud matches, grudge matches, but they actually gave them some fucking time. Pretty fucking cool, man. I like that. Give a match wrestling time. Give people a chance to fucking get into it. There's a crazy notion in today's pro wrestling. 20-minute match. This was a good, solid match from the jump for BC. A lot of you guys are saying it didn't hit for you. BC was liking the tension that they were bringing. It was believable. It was realistic. I love the motivation that was lit underneath Miz's ass. I love the veracity and the amplification that Edge always brings, especially last night. So for me, all the mannerisms and all the little puzzle pieces were coming together for this match. For me, it was a good, solid match from the jump, and just as importantly, a good little story to get us to the point. Finish was awesome as Maurice smacks Edge upside his dome piece. I couldn't tell if that was her hand or with her purse, but Edge got smacked upside his dome piece by Maurice. Edge is immediately hit with the skull-crushing finale, but Edge does kick out, man. Right at that 2 3/4 mark, man, Edge kicks out. And now Maurice is furious. Maurice is up on the apron. She's yelling at the referee. Referee Jess, I believe, was the referee. Referee Jess is like, now get out of here. Get out of here. And you guys are telling me, Jared, it was the purse. Okay, so it was the purse. That's why he got hit so hard. He went into the skull-crushing finale. And Maurice is pissed off up on the apron. Referee Jess is like, get down. And all of a sudden, the crowd stands up and is looking over at the entranceway. Maurice turns around. I knew it wasn't Gangrel. This was Beth Phoenix. And sure enough, man, Beth Phoenix, just with an Edge look in female form, Mrs. Edge, Mrs. Copeland, standing there, no music. I love this, man. No music at all. Just fucking mean grilling Maurice. Now, BC has told you for weeks that I think this is the perfect Royal Rumble match. I don't want this to drag out till Mania. I hope they don't do that. This mixed tag match, I'm okay with if it culminates at the Royal Rumble. This is a fun way to integrate Beth Phoenix into another match, which I'm always on board with, and I know so many of you guys are. So I love how they just hung on Beth Phoenix with no music, and then she takes her first step after about 45 seconds. And the second she takes her first step, the old Glamazon theme entrance starts cascading through the loudspeakers. And her music starts playing. She chases Maurice away. Maurice just hightails. Maurice is like, I'm fucking out of here. Check you. And then, I love this, man. Beth Phoenix, after she chases Maurice away, she's at ringside now. She looks at Miz, who's in the ring, and Maurice says, and I want to get this right, this was a quote. Fucking Beth Phoenix says this to Miz. I'm gonna wreck your ass, Mike. I'm gonna wreck your ass. Beth Phoenix telling Miz, I'm gonna wreck your ass. Bro, I mean, if you're Miz, you gotta take that shit to heart and think, I am not gonna piss this motherfucker off anymore going forward. But Miz's character is so fucking obnoxious that he will, starting Monday night, him and Maurice will do something to trigger Edge and Beth Phoenix, and the ball will be rolling for that mixed tag. But I'm gonna wreck your ass, Mike. That's what she said. And then Mike Mizanin, dude, the Miz is like, fuck. I just pissed off the devil. So Mike turns around, Miz turns around, and he gets clobbered with a fucking devastating spear. And Miz is defeated. Edge wins this match. Good story, I felt, going into it. Not the most superb, but a good little story going into this. The match, I felt, was good. Not epic, not great, not awesome, but good. It was a good segue to the future, obviously, to get Beth Phoenix into one more match. I'm sure we're all pretty okay with that. I'm sure we all have fucking 15 to 20 minutes for a mixed tag match at the Rumble. So that's all I ask for. It's not the grandest of scenarios. This isn't the most epic of situations. I get it. A lot of you guys may not have even liked any of it. I get it. But that's not what we're talking about in the review. We're not talking about what we just liked and didn't like. It's about what is right and what is wrong. The booking. The answers to all of our questions. And for those reasons, Edge and Miz with the return of Beth Phoenix. That goes into the good column. And by the way, that continues a streak for Edge. Since Edge has returned to WWE, I don't believe I have given Edge anything other than a good in any column. Edge has been hammering all of his matches. Edge is just a freak of nature. He's an old school dude who just, unfortunately, today's wrestler, they're not built like Edge anymore. I'm not talking about physique. Just that amplification, that chutzpah, that it factor. Edge has it in every area, man. Mark says still bad. What's still bad? I said it's good. That's not bad. What do you mean it's still bad? What are we saying? What am I missing here? I just said it was good. I hope there's no confusion. I don't stutter on this channel. So that's match number 4. 4 matches in, we got 1 good, 3 in the bad. With 2 matches left, they're gonna have to at least try to tie this motherfucker. Try to tie this motherfucker. And then we go to the fucking pre-show. What was the fucking pre-show? Anybody know the pre-show? I was live with you guys, by the way. So if we have to go to the tiebreaker, I got to watch that shit live with you guys and then decide. There was no pre-show. Or was it the Ricochet-Cesaro match? There was supposed to be a tag match yesterday. But it never happened. So maybe that was on the pre... yeah. You guys are telling me now. Yeah, it was. It was the Ricochet-Cesaro Sheamus Ridge Holland match. Well, if this ends up in a fucking tie, I doubt it's going to, though, because we're the main event is going to be a host of a fucking spiel. But for now, it's 1 good and 3 in the bad. That's where we're going to be at right now. Let's go into the 5th match. This was a big-time Bex versus My Time Morgan. This was for the Raw Women's Championship. This was a 17-minute match. Damn good match again with these two, man. Something about these two, man. I don't know if it was better than their first in some areas, but with Liv Morgan's performance, that was the performance of her career. Liv Morgan just catapulted straight through the stratosphere with her career, man. That was her calling card. If it wasn't a couple weeks ago on Raw, that was Liv Morgan's calling card, man. The move of the match was by Liv Morgan at the 10-minute mark of the match, where Lynch was on the second rope and Morgan hit a springboard sunset flip bomb. So damn cool. Liv Morgan did not hesitate. Liv Morgan knew that this was going to be a hard move to obtain and accomplish. Liv Morgan knew that the degree of difficulty for this move was a 10. But Liv Morgan believed in herself, did not hesitate, went full throttle. Not only was it not botched, Liv Morgan hit it beautifully. Fucking awesome. And again, you got to give credit to Becky too, because the timing it takes two to tango with the timing. Becky Lynch had to time that perfectly with Liv. Props to Becky for that as well. No doubt. So the match of the move of the entire night was by Liv Morgan. And the match ends as Morgan tries for Oblivion, but Bex stops it and hits the Bex bottom for the W. It was a bit of a botch as Becky dropped Morgan too far from the ropes, and clearly Becky was supposed to put her foot on the ropes for more leverage for the pin. Thus allowing Morgan to kind of save face like you cheated again. But Becky kind of botched. It was too far. You could even see Becky trying to put her foot on the rope, but she couldn't reach it. So this turned into a clean pin. That's great if your name is Becky Lynch. You got a clean fucking victory. It's going to make you look good. It's not so great if your name is Liv Morgan and you were supposed to lose by having your opponent put her foot on the rope again. So Liv Morgan kind of got screwed out of that deal. Nonetheless, the match was damn solid. Liv Morgan had the performance of her career, easily one of the performances of the entire night. When I look at the whole night and see who had the best performances, Liv Morgan's at the top of the list. Liv Morgan was fucking awesome last night. And it was the right call with Becky winning, man. Some people are upset with that. I don't understand. Same thing with Big E, man. You're not going to have Becky Lynch just lose the title at day one pay-per-view. Just transitional that shit. Fucking hot potato the belt, because that's what would happen. She would just get it right back at Royal Rumble and then lose it at Mania. This is stupid. We can't have titles be hot potatoes. Are they a championship or are they a food product delivered at Wendy's? You want to go through the drive-thru and order a hot potato? Or do you want a championship match with a championship that feels like a championship, with a champion that feels and acts like a champion? Fans are so fickle these days. Every fucking month we're bored and we want a new champion. Mad respect to Liv Morgan. I don't like how Becky got the title in 26 seconds at SummerSlam over Bianca Belair. That never should have happened. That is fucking unacceptable. But it did happen. So you don't right your wrongs by doubling down on another wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. So Becky had to win this fucking match. But Liv Morgan alone Becky wasn't exactly on her A game last night, but Liv Morgan more than provided over that, man. There's no way that's not going to go into the good column. I don't have a fucking 2, do I? Motherfucker. Motherfucker. I don't have a fucking 2. Where is my fucking 2? I cannot have anybody just tune into this fucking stream and see fucking an 11 up there and think that I put 11 goods into this shit show. Absolutely not. I can't turn the 5 upside down, Jer9. It doesn't look like a 2. Jer9's my boy, man. Much love to Jer9. You have no idea how many statistics he does for this channel and how he's always there every time I got a question, man. Mad props to Jer9. This is a 5. I don't know how it looks to you guys. Maybe it's flipped. Is that better? If I flip it, people are going to think my fever is like at 110. They're going to be like, BC, you flipped a 5, buddy. I'm going to find a 2. I'm halting this at match number 5 as I go and find my 2. I'll be right back. You guys can hold tight or take off and come back later. Whatever the fuck. But I am not starting this until I come back with my 2. Damn it! Hit that shit. Hey. The fuck? What in the world? Oh, now everything wants to not work on BC when I say hit that shit. I gave a command. I said, play that shit. Ah, here we go. BC will be back. I'm going to find my 2. My fucking coffee. Fuck out of here. Fuck is up with this shit, huh? Fuck. Deal on this shit. Get over here! You ain't fucking going on me! What the fuck you doing, huh? Nobody told you to go out! Ah! Two! We found it! Unit! It was trying to sign a contract with AEW! Alright, cut that shit! Cut that shit! Cut it! Cut it! I said fucking cut it! Son of a bitch, man. How many times you gotta say cut it, man? Anyway. All right, we're back. 2 in the good. 3 in the bad. I found the 2. You guys know how I am, man. I'm very stubborn. This was gonna irritate me if I put 2 1s up there and it looks like an 11 and people are gonna tune in and go, Beasley thought the event was that good? No, motherfucker. That'll be the day I put 11 in any WWE event, the way they've been fucking booking shit for 10 years. Thank you guys for that halt, man. You guys are the best. Thank you too, man. As we head toward 400 on the ups, I appreciate that. That'll help the algorithm for the thousands that are going to catch this over the next 48-hour period. So I appreciate that, man. We're going to go into the main event now, guys, if you don't mind. This is Brock Lesnar versus Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Big E for Big E's WWE Championship. What was a fatal 4-way turned into a fatal 5-way. And there's no way that you can there's no way that you can possibly be okay with this. Right? You can't possibly say, well, basically, Vince was in a hard spot here. Roman got canceled out. Vince already promoted him to wrestle. This makes the most sense. It actually is the opposite of that. It makes zero fucking sense. I don't give a fuck but you can have Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of people backstage, in the parking lot, in the streets of Atlanta, in the middle of the ring for the other half of the event. That's fine. In no way should Brock Lesnar be in a championship match he has no business being in just because Vince McMahon panicked, realized he had nothing else because he doesn't care, and he doesn't allow himself to have a backup plan. That's what happens when you don't give a fuck. That's what happens when you don't put in the work. When something drastic happens, like your champion has to drop out the night of a pay-per-view, this is what Vince is forced to do, he feels. Because he has no backup plans anymore. He doesn't give a fuck. So his only fucking plan was to overstretch his boundaries and means by putting Brock into a fucking a match that was already a fatal 4-way for a title he has nothing to do with. You cannot make any sense out of this at all. I would ask my unit to not even try to make sense out of it. I would ask that. Because you're not going to be able to. But that's the match that we were given in the main event last night. It was the championship match. Big E's title. Now already we were thinking, is Big E going to be done dirty, right? I mean, no matter who wins, no matter who beats Big E for the championship, you just made Big E a transitional champion. That's what anybody who's a champion for 3 months, and basically that's what he's been. He won it in the middle of September. It's the first day of January last night. It's basically 3 months. So if you're going to make Big E a transitional champion, the same way that you made fucking Kofi, I think Kofi actually had it at least a little longer, but lost it in way less time, in 10 seconds to Brock. But, damn, man. You can't... Oh, man. I'm just thinking about it now as I'm reviewing it with you guys, and I can't believe that this was the decision that they fucking made. But I couldn't help but think, are they going to give this to Bobby Lashley? Or is it going to be Kevin Owens? Or is it going to be Rollins? Who's going to take the belt from Big E if so? And after it was all said and done last night, it didn't matter. Because not only did Big E get done filthy, somebody else got done dirty. I bet you Big E, I wouldn't be shocked anyway if Big E was supposed to lose that title anyway. So who got done dirty? Was it Rollins? Was it Owens? Was it Lashley? Lashley looked pissed the entire fucking match, as short as it was. Lashley did not look like he wanted to be there, like he knew something that we didn't know. Was that supposed to go to Lashley? And now Brock has it. So now we get our Brock and Lashley, and we're all supposed to say we're okay with this decision, right? I know that's what a lot of us want to say. Oh, BC, I'm okay with Lashley and Brock. Well, me too. BC has told you when Lashley came back, if you booked him correctly, Lashley and Brock was the way to go. But under no circumstance can you do somebody filthy like Big E, like they did to Big E, just to get to that match. You hotshot Brock into a fucking title match he has no business being in. Things have to make sense, guys. You have to care about what you're producing. If you don't, your company is just going to look like a sloppy shop. One chaotic mess. And it has for years. Because of decisions like we saw last night. So anyway, that's my rant just on the match itself. Just on the match itself. Now let's talk about the fucking match, why don't we? Oh, let's do it. Brock starts this match with 76 Suplex City bitches. Slight exaggeration. Before Big E and Lashley put a stop to that shit. Big E takes Lesnar out over the top rope with a cascading clothesline. And once Brock is over the top rope and rocked, Lashley then comes with a drilling spear through the barricade. Pretty badass little combo to fuck up Lesnar. And they weren't even done yet, man. Then Rollins holds Lesnar down, and Owens does a fucking leap from the apron and crushes Brock Lesnar with a splash. So Lesnar did take his fucking bumps, as short as this match was. And it reminded BC, man, when I was seeing Big E and Lashley hit these power moves on Brock, it reminded me, how cool would it have been if we had Big E and Brock Lesnar in an actual feud for the title? How cool. If booked properly, if Vince McMahon gave Big E the time of day and gave a fuck about Big E's booking, and Big E was booked the way he was supposed to be booked this whole time, Big E and Brock would have been a masterpiece. You see their little interaction last night and you thought, damn, Big E's hitting power moves on Brock and Brock is rocked. And it made you think about what a feud could have been. Same thing with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar would have been fucking epic. But Bobby Lashley has not been booked correctly at all. And now all of a sudden, what are we supposed to believe, guys? Is Bobby going to go on a tear for the next month or two? And then we're supposed to believe that Bobby is that beast again? I hope. Because I like Bobby, and he should be booked as a beast. But when you yin and yang somebody so much, when you give somebody 2 steps and then take them back a mile, people are going to stop believing you. It's the boy that cried wolf. If you cry wolf every single day when you come home from school and everybody, the whole community rushes to your aid and they don't see any wolf, and you just sit there with a smirk. You played everybody. You just wanted the attention. But then one day you're coming home from school and there is a wolf and it's ready to fucking eat you alive. And you start crying, wolf, wolf. And that community, your villagers, your family, your friends, nobody comes to your aid because they're done with you crying wolf. Until later that night, they realize you're fucking missing. They go out into the fucking woods and they see your fucking body parts scrammed all around because that wolf ate you alive. It's your fault. You cried wolf. You book Bobby to be a beast and then you take him back to be a jobber. Then he's a beast again. Then he looks like an idiot. He's a beast. If I'm supposed to believe that Bobby's a beast again just to have a Brock match, you better make me believe such, Vince. But my point is, if Vince McMahon got off his fucking ass and started caring about his product again and caring about making legit superstars again, Big E versus Brock or Bobby Lashley versus Brock would have been epic. And you saw just signs of that during this match. Owens then, oh yeah, I already got the Owens splash. Big E delivers a big ending to Lashley through the commentary table. That was pretty cool. They were up on the staircase, so they put the stairs next to the commentary table, and Big E just dropped Lashley on his fucking dome piece through the commentary table. That was another bright spot. There was just a lot of action, right? And that's one of the reasons I don't like schmaz matches. You can't really sell properly. You have a lot of dudes with too little of time. A lot of action, too little of time. A lot of action, not a lot of selling. But the action, you can't say there was any lack of it last night. The problem was, wait till you hear the match fucking time. 7-minute mark. Okay, we're about to do a 3-minute to the ending here. This is the last 3 minutes. At the 7-minute mark, the crowd is chanting, "This is awesome." That's how much action and it was power moves. It was beasts colliding like Big E and Brock and Lashley and Brock and fucking Owens with cascading splashes. People going through commentary tables and a lot of action. This was everything I just said to you guys was in the first 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And then you get "This is awesome" at the 7-minute mark. And at the 8-minute mark, Brock Lesnar delivers an F5 to basically everybody except for Lashley, who said, "Fuck no, bitch." And Lashley ended up taking out Brock with a spear, actually. But Brock kicked out of it. But the 7-minute mark, "This is awesome." The 8-minute mark, Brock is F5ing everybody. And just under the 9-minute mark, Lesnar hits Big E with an F5 and defeats Big E for the WWE Championship and new WWE Champion of the world is Brock Lesnar at the hands of Big E. feeding Big E the loss, staring up at the lights, rocked from an F5. Where do I begin with where this goes? You want me to say this? This is fine, BC. Big E's reign wasn't doing anything for me. It was boring. You have to blame Vince for that. That's not Big E's fault. I already went over that in the cold open. Just ask Kofi. Just ask Finn Balor. Just ask Shinsuke. Just ask Asuka. It's not the champion's fault sometimes. If you're not given even a chance to have a good title reign, you ain't going to have one. And fickle fans will forget about you in the drop of a hat, snap of a finger, blink of an eye. And they'll blame you, and they'll say, I'm okay with this. And we'll let Vince McMahon off the hook. Big E wasn't doing anything, right? No. It's not Big E's fault. It's Vince's fault. So no, that's one reason I'm not okay with this at all. Number two, you say, oh, that's okay. This will set up, hopefully, Brock versus Bobby finally. The way Bobby has been booked since he returned doesn't warrant Beast versus Beast right now. You have to tell a beautiful story. So now you're telling BC that starting, a month ago, you had to start telling the Lashley and Lesnar storyline if you want to match it, even the Royal Rumble. Even if you want a 4-week build. Or just over 3 weeks by now. What are you going to do? Are you going to do that match at WrestleMania now? Bobby versus Brock? You better be flawless with your storytelling. And now you're telling BC that Vince McMahon is going to do that? He's going to be flawless with storytelling? Because that's what you're going to have to be. You booked Bobby like a fucking idiot the same way you're booking Big E. I watched Bobby Lashley get destroyed by Goldberg, and now I'm supposed to think that Bobby can destroy Lesnar. I saw Bob Lashley get pinned by a fruit roll-up several times in 2021. See, that's what I mean. You think BC's going to forget this. I'm not a demented trained seal that Vince McMahon likes to train his audience to be fickled sheep. I remember shit. So no, I'm not okay with that either. I'm also not okay with Brock even being in this match because it's just not realistic and it doesn't make sense. There's no logic or common sense behind it. And I'm not okay with Big E losing that fucking championship that way to be a transitional champion. It's not right. Do not even try to justify this because all you will be doing is trying to stand by Vince McMahon. And bro, he doesn't need you to do that. He doesn't give a shit about you, and he's not going to give you a paycheck. What happened to Big E last night, you have to realize it's part of a bigger problem. This is why the ratings suck in WWE. This is why they're at a 1.5 pinned on Monday Night Raw for the last 4 weeks. This is why. It's the decisions they've been making for almost 10 years now. And those decisions are just like we saw last night. When we panic, this is Vince McMahon's MO. When we panic, when somebody like Roman goes down last second, put the belt on Brock. When we panic and we don't think that we built a superstar because you don't, Vince, let's call Goldberg. For years, I have been watching this situation. Uh-oh, Vince is panicking again. Here comes Goldberg. Uh-oh, Vince is panicking. Brock is getting a championship. And you guys are so quick to forget about it because, Big E wasn't doing anything anyway. It's bigger than that, guys. We have to get pro wrestling back on track. If we're not going to be honest, what the fuck are you even doing on this channel? There's 100 other reviewers. Go watch some other schmuck that's going to feed you bullshit. Or fucking coddle the balls of a company. On this channel, you're getting amplified truth. I hope you can handle that. I'd love to have you. If you want to press the subscribe button, that's cool. I'd love to have you join the Amplified Unit family. Welcome. If you can't, take off, dude. That's cool. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Basically, man, this is too much for me. It's not my type of channel. Check you. I'll sleep fine tonight. You're not going to hurt my feelings, bro. But if you can handle this type of truth, I'd love to have you. Smash the subscription button. Smash the up. You got to show the love for BC. That's one of the family rules. But I'd love to have you. But just realize I'm not going to be like everyone else in the community, man. I'm going to review this shit very harshly because pro wrestling is on its deathbed, man. Pro wrestling doesn't have a pulse these days. AEW and Tony Khan, what he's given us with AEW, those are the only memorable moments in 2021, mostly anyway. WWE maybe had one or two. I mean, if you take out what AEW has done in 2021, we got nothing, man. We have to get this shit back on track. We can't just be okay with everything Vince is doing. That shit's got to stop. On this channel, I'm not going to allow that. This whole scenario, I'm putting everything together. I'm not even going to give the match a separate time. I mean, your main event was barely 9 minutes. And your champion was just looking up at the lights like nothing. Because we had to give the title back to Brock? No, this goes directly into the bad or ugly. What do you guys think? You already know where I'm putting it. This is going into the ugly column. But the fact that he was even in the match gets another ugly. So that's two fucking ugly. And the fact that he fucking won the title. The fact that they knew about Roman Reigns well in advance, but only told the audience 2 hours before the show so nobody could cancel. That's 4. I'm giving that whole fucking main event 4 uglies. Because it's my channel and I can be that harsh. 4 uglies. I'm not here to be nice. And by the way, I don't even mind Brock Lesnar. I'm actually, I mean, that dude, when people are saying they don't want to see Brock anymore, this part-timer, I stood up for Brock a lot because I know the value that he brings. He's a realistic, big fight feel type of dude. Still to this day. So I love it. I'm not a fan of raising someone up by tearing someone else down, though. You have to come up with another way to do something with Brock. You cannot have that event leave the airwaves with Big E on his back. Without his gold. You can't do it. Unacceptable. 2 good, 3 bad, 4 ugly. These uglies turn into 2 bads apiece. I warned you guys on that. So now we have to cross that off. Every ugly turns into 2 bads. That's 4 uglies. That's 2 bads apiece. That's 8 more bads. That means that's 8 plus 3. That's 11 bads is their final tally. Now we can put an 11 up there. Now we can do a fucking 11. There we go. That's it, man. Now we got our 11. 11 bads when this was all said and done because I just went ape shit on the main event. Unacceptable, man. And there is your good, the bad, and the ugly review, guys. This took us an hour and a half to get through, but we did it, man. There was a lot to talk about. I had to find my number 2. I found it. And we're not done yet. I want to go over my supers, man, all my VIPs, everyone that showed that love over to BC during the course of this good, the bad, and the ugly. But I hope my lasting message for anybody checking out this review just for the good, the bad, and the ugly portion, we have to do better. WWE has to do better. And on this channel, we're going to force them from here on out. 2022, expect a lot more reviews like this. You thought I was harsh in 2021. You thought I was going to let off the gas a little bit in 2022. You ain't seen nothing yet, man. This is BC under the weather. Could you imagine if I was fully amped? Have mercy to my amp unit. Check you later. We'll catch you next time. Our next review will be Monday Night Raw. And we'll do that within 24 hours after the show. We'll check you guys. For those of you that want to stick around and shoot the shit, I'm going to go over some supers, man. Let me try to get them up on the board. All right, let's do this, man. We got, we got a lot, bro. Hold on. Yeah, man. Dave Mealy, $4.99. This kind of nonsense booking is what you get when you have no backup plan. Literally what I just said, Dave. This is what Vince does. Give the belt to Brock. We have nobody. Call up Goldberg. Instead of just making superstars, Dave. And then Dave cascaded a 99.99, a 100 bomber. He says, bombs away. Happy New Year, BC. I recall the first video I saw of you. You talked about fans of Alexa Bliss and how they loved when she won her matches, but would lose their minds when she lost. No shade to Alexa, but after you said that, I knew you were my dude. Dave, yeah, I remember that, man. And I grew to like Alexa, man, when she was with The Fiend. I have a new appreciation for Alexa. But yeah, there was one of those things where it was a fan base where you have to call it a little bit more down the middle. We like Alexa, but just be honest. So, Dave, I'm glad that got you captivated to the channel. And that was a hungy, man. So, unit, to my unit that's still up in here, we still have a few hundred still live, man, even though we're done with the review portion. Can you guys give Dave Mealy those fire emojis, brah? Or you got those fucking bomb emojis? Because that was a hungy spot. He's not only getting BC those coffees, he's getting BC some tea. Some fucking herbal tea, man. I can't believe I'm saying those words. Thank you, JR9. Badass, dude. That's for you, Dave. JR9's also giving over the bombs, bro. James is giving over the fucking fire. Tristan, Santivia, John, man. Hey, that's all for you, Dave Mealy. I appreciate that big time, dude. What a great way to start off the new year, knowing that the AMP unit is willing BC back to health. Oh, man. Dave Mealy, dude. You rock. I appreciate that. I saw that before I went live. And I was definitely touched by that, dude. You rock. And I want to give a salute, man. Fuck the tea for a second. A salute to Dave Mealy. Christopher Blackshear, $4.99. Day one was atrocious. Now the Royal Rumble is 27 days away. Let's see how they build that. We could have done without Migos last night. Yeah, I didn't know who they were, Christopher. So my unit just told me that they're from Atlanta, so I understand it a little bit more. I just didn't care for the fucking tag match to begin with. Then I got Migos running around acting like they're wrestlers that accomplished something. I was done with that shit, bro. Christopher Blackshear. Always good to see you up in here, man. And Dante Jaron 23. What up, man? Dante Jaron 23 is up in this motherfucker with a $4.99. Says Brock's last two titles are from the New Day. So if Xavier becomes champ, we know who's going to beat him for the belt. Yeah, Xavier became king, right? We thought he was going to get this big push. And a few weeks later, Xavier's being pinned by Roman clean middle of the round. I'm like, why even have him in the ring one-on-one with Roman then? But you're right, Dante. You give him a championship, he'll wind up just like Kofi Kingston in 10 seconds to Brock Lesnar. What we saw last night with Big E, we saw the same thing happen with Kofi 2 years ago. Only he lost it in 10 seconds. Exactly right, Dante. At this point, Xavier's probably standing clear from that fucking championship. Enforcer 2K9, what up, man? 5-spot coffee. So was Brock supposed to beat Roman? Was Big E supposed to lose? How does Brock get thrown into shit he had nothing to do with and win that title? All these questions that Enforcer 2K9 is asking right now, man. All of us were. So this morning, we're still asking these questions. Was Brock supposed to beat Roman? Maybe. Was Big E originally supposed to lose the title? And to who? Maybe. But Enforcer 2K, we don't have the answers. We just know right from wrong, man. And that's what I just spent the whole hour and a half plus spewing. But Enforcer 2K, it's all bullshit. You know it, man. You've been around long enough on this channel, Enforcer 2K9. You know the deal with this dude. Strict Tango. This dude, Vince McMahon. Let me just clarify who this dude is. Strict Tango, 5-spot coffee. Brock should have never ended Undertaker's WrestleMania winning streak. If it were up to me, I would have rather Taker's WrestleMania record undefeated until he retired. Yeah, to this day, Strict Tango, that's still a hot topic. I understand what it did emotion-wise for the WrestleMania 30 card. It's still one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time because of an emotional roller coaster that BC was on. I believe that was the same WrestleMania where you had Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, and The Rock in the same ring at the same time to start the show. You had that fucking emotional moment with The Undertaker dropping that streak. And then at the end, you had Daniel Bryan winning. That culminating moment of an epic storyline. Classic David versus Goliath. And Daniel Bryan wins the championship. So what a WrestleMania that was. So we can go back now and Monday morning quarterback it, but that was also Brock Lesnar, though, Strictango. You're exactly right. I mean, and that's just Vince's go-to for everything. I'm okay with booking him like a beast because you should. But sometimes, man, you got to let shit settle with other people. Clutch City fan, 5-spot coffee. Happy 5-spot coffee and tea, I should say. Clutch City fan. Happy New Year, unit. Same to you, Clutch. I'm here starting 22 with the 19. I love the match, but hate how they did Big E. They better give us Brock versus Lashley at Mania. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't mind seeing it, but I can't get to Lashley versus Brock yet until I get over the fact of how filthy, how recklessly filthy they did Big E. But as far as having the 19, Clutch, hope you get better, man. BC's under the weather too, dude. So kick its ass, man. We'll see you right back on this channel, hopefully for the Raw review in a couple of days, man. Redhead Kingpin 27, 5-spot coffee or tea. WWE Day 1 prison show scared me last night. What the fuck did we watch? If this was day 1, I don't want to see any more days. Felt cheap, everything. Redhead Kingpin 27. Yeah, that was just day 1, right? They said it like it's supposed to be some organic, fresh feeling, right? Day 1 of an epic year. And when it was all said and done, we're just thinking, this is just day 1 of another year of fucking garbage from this company. Or at least that's what Vince has given us already. Day 1, but it's the same old shit. Thomas the Gazelle, 2 spots. Salute. Salute right back to you, Thomas the Gazelle. VC Stallion, 199. Hey, BC, hope you had a good holiday. Much love. VC Stallion, hope you did too. Much love and respect right back to you. I did have a good holiday, and then right after, or at least Christmas, and then right after, I just went under the weather. And I haven't been the same since, but we had a lot of fun today, man. My unit always makes sure we have a good time on the channel, so always makes me feel a lot better. VC Stallion, thank you. Thomas the Gazelle, thank you. Pimp Jesus, what up, Pimp? 5-spot. Happy New Year, BC and Amp unit. Right back to you, Pimp Jesus. Hopefully all is good, man. PB Sillapride, 199. What up? New year, new boredom. PB Sillapride, Happy New Year, dude. And new day, same shit, man. Or you could say same shit, different day, PB Sillapride, no doubt. Bakayuka, 2-spot. BC drinking both coffee and tea equals Brock wins and Big E lost. Yeah, when you see me double fisting, that's when you know it was a long night. And we got to review this shit. Bakayuka. Switching off between the two. VC Stallion, a $9.99 now. Personally, I don't think Miro should have lost the TNT title. At least not in Wednesday or on a Wednesday or a Friday. As for Brock, I'm hoping this sets up Brock and Bobby. But I have a feeling Brock Roman will be a unification match. Yeah, no, Miro should have probably held the championship straight through 2021 if you were just going to do Sammy like that. I don't understand why have Sammy win that thing. And then have Sammy beat Jay Lethal. Just have Cody get it. Because it's going to help a heel turn. So I don't get that either, VC Stallion. Absolutely, and I agree with the whole Miro keeping that championship. As for Brock and Bobby, yes, I'm on board with that. 2 things need to happen. First, BC has to get over Big E being done so filthy. And number 2, they have to book Bobby consistently to be a beast. That's what they failed to do always. He'll be a beast for a few weeks, and then he'll be a fucking idiot for 3 weeks. He'll be getting fruit roll-up by somebody. So they have to do a lot better by that. But and as far as the unification, well, you just had a fucking brand split shakeup draft. What the fuck is unifying the titles going to do? Now the waters are even more muddied and people are even going to be more lost in the shuffle. So I don't know. I mean, everybody thinks that the answer to all of our problems is unifying the championships. That's not the answer to any fucking problem because you're still going to get the same shit booking from Vince. JR perfectly said the booking has to be fixed, not unification. Everybody just uses the word unit. Right? Every time we get a new champion, everyone goes, I'm fine with it. Let's unify. How about you get your fucking house in order and then you can unify? You think by adding 2 circuses together, you're going to have an organized circus? two chaotic circuses together is going to form one beautiful circus. No, your house is going to be even more fucky. Your shop is going to be even more sloppy. But VC Stallion, so much truth to drop there, man. VC Stallion, much love and respect. Thank you. Enforcer 2K9 with another 2 spot. It's a new day. Yes, it ain't. I like that. It's a new day. Yes, it ain't. No, it's a new day, all right. It's the same old shit, Enforcer 2K9. Dr. Savage Blue Fire with a 199. No words, just showing the love and support. Thank you, Dr. Savage. Kong Unleashed CWC. Cheers, BC. Right back to you, Kong Unleashed CWC. I appreciate it. Redhead Kingpin, 27 2 spot. WWE Day 1 Prison Asylum was super scary to watch. Just the decision making, man. You know, you don't have high expectations for a WWE pay-per-view anymore. But because it is a new day, new year, you have a little bit of hope that they're going to try some new shit and hopefully captivate their audience. And then you just start seeing the same shit that we saw in 2021 and years before. JR9 Gaming, JR9, 5 spot, JR. Big E lost his title in an 8-minute match to Brock. Pathetic. He only won the title on the September 13th edition of Raw, so just over 3.5-month reign. Exactly, JR. I'm calling it transitional. I know it's usually 3 and under, but that's transitional to BC, man. You just gave him the title. You did not give him any title reign to talk about, and then you just had him drop it. And let's be honest, an insignificant event to a person who shouldn't even been in the fucking match. JR. So much fucking truth, man. Much love and respect, brother. Happy New Year. Novaz, 10 spot. Novaz, if Brock was going to win, cool. But why did Big E have to take the pin? Also, WrestleMania main event now is all over the place. They should do Bobby versus Brock, but knowing Vince, he's going to try to merge the titles. Yeah, he'll do something stupid like that. Unified. Unification. Unifying them will do nothing. Until you get your shop in order, your shop is going to be sloppy. Don't worry about unifying. Worry about taking each brand right now and making it as epic as possible. And then down the line, then you can merge and worry about the whole fucking company as a whole. But Novaz, no doubt, man. I appreciate it, dude. William F, 5 spot coffee. William F, much love, dude. I just plan for the worst anymore, so I'm not as surprised. I'm still pissed. BC, you're the best for analyze. Can fucking speak. BC, you're the best for analyzing this shit. Thanks for everything. William F, thank you, dude. Thank you for being a long-time tried and true AMP unit member. And I have to do this, William F. I can't depend on anybody else in the community to do that, man. BC is the top at what he does. When it comes to reviewing and talking about pro wrestling, BC's at the top, man. Everybody else is just levels and levels below. And that's not ego. That's not a pat on the back. It's just the truth. Nobody sees wrestling like I do. I wish there was more people that do. But I'm just miles ahead of everybody. I'm playing chess and everybody's got a checkers board. So William F, I'm going to keep doing it for you, man. I'm going to keep rocking out for all my AMP unit. William F, I appreciate it. Jonathan Masters, 2 spot. I expected WWE to drop the ball, and sure enough, yeah, they won't disappoint you. They will not disappoint you. I assure you of that, Jonathan Masters. That's the one thing we can expect with WWE. A fucking disaster, usually. Osea Weidman, $4.99. What up, Osea? Bobby needs to win the Royal Rumble. Well, that's what I mean about, is he going to be a beast now, or is he going to be yin-yang 50-50 book still? If you're going to give me Beast Bobby, I'm totally down with him and Brock. If you're going to give me 50-50 booked, one day he's a beast, the other day he's getting fruit roll-upped, Bobby, I don't need to see him in Brock. Because I'm just going to remember him getting fruit roll-up by Xavier Woods. Or him being destroyed by Goldberg in a couple of minutes. I don't need to see that shit. I want to see the Bobby that I know we should be seeing. The Beast. Osea Weidman, also with a $9.99, says, BC, don't be surprised if KO and Seth Rollins defeat RK Bro for the tag team titles. I love that, Osea. Give it to Owens and Rollins, and finally split up Orton away from Riddle. Orton needs to be a diabolical fucking heel. Like when he was the legend killer and taking out people like Mick Foley and throwing them down sets of fucking staircases. I missed that Orton. In all of 2021, I saw him giggling with Matt Riddle, talking about fucking getting high jokes and giving each other scooters with purple tassels. Playing the father of his son, Matt Riddle. I can't stand this fucking Randy Orton. And everybody giggles, right? It's funny though, Beasley. It's funny, Beasley, don't worry. For the whole fucking year, you're still giggling over RK Bro? None of you guys want to see that fucking old school badass Randy Orton with the years that he has left in his career? Fuck, man. Osea Weidman, I'm down with giving it to Owens and Rollins because A, I think that makes sense, but B, more importantly, it gets Orton away from Riddle. It just has to happen. Derek Fleming Jr., $4.99. What up, Derek Fleming Jr.? With Brock holding the title hostage till Mania makes me wonder what the guys who aren't part-timers do. They have nothing to fight over now. Show sucks. And you're right, and that does suck because back in the day, even if you weren't going for a title, you still had a feud. You had a grudge going. So your pay-per-view match was still special. These days, there's no more feuds. There's no storylines anymore. So if you ain't got a fucking title dangling over you, you literally ain't got shit. So Derek Fleming Jr., more true than fucking you probably even imagined while typing that. Those words are ever so true. Lisa Matcher, $2.79. What up, Lisa? The women all becoming a square dance in, I guess. The women all becoming a square dance in, I guess. Well, the women's fucking... Where do you go with the women? If I may change the subject, Lisa, much love. But you brought up a point that I wanted to make before I ended this, Lisa. Who wins the Women's Royal Rumble this year? Because, I mean, are they going to go for Becky's title? Are they going for Charlie's title? I mean, this pretty much puts all of that in the air still 27 days away from the Rumble. We don't know who's... So I hope you don't mind, Lisa, me taking that another direction. But that just talking about the women made me... I wanted to raise that question, man, to my unit. Like, who the fuck wins? Man. You guys are telling me, oh, Bayley. Okay, yeah. Bayley's pass, she could come back and win it. I heard Alexa Bliss, guys. I'm just a messenger on that, by the way. But, look at that, fucking 11-2. Damn. I heard Alexa Bliss is the latest top runner. But it could be Bayley, man. Queen Zelina, I would be okay with that. Everybody else would probably throw a temper tantrum. Sasha's my girl, so of course, Liv Morgan, I'd be down with that tenfold. Trev Reigns, the tribal god, also said that. But yeah, some people do think it's going to be somebody returning like Alexa or Bayley. Some people are thinking it's Ronda Rousey. So it does make you think. Anyway, Lisa, I appreciate it, and thank you for allowing me to ask that question. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 50-19, bro. Jimmy Fingers. Hold on, I just lost Jimmy. Hold on, Jimmy Fingers 50-19, bro. Salud. First off, Happy New Year, BC, and I hope you're feeling better. You guys make me feel better, man, but I'm still feeling like shit as of now. Especially 2 hours into this motherfucker screaming and shit. I hope you're feeling better. As soon as the Beast was added to that match, KO, Seth, and Big E all became instant jabronis. I love Brock, but not as a part-time champion. What does the rest of the roster fight for now? Jimmy Fingers 19. You're getting the love, too, with the flames, Jimmy Fingers 19. My unit is showing you the love, man, with the fire and the bombs. With that 50-19. I appreciate it, Jimmy Fingers 19. You're exactly right, man. This is what Vince rests on. Because he doesn't build stars, he has to always call Goldberg. Because he always finds himself in a pickle, and when things go wrong, he always just puts a title on the Brock. And everybody else has to play this game. And we in the process, we don't create any new wrestlers that become superstars. Wrestlers are no longer superstars. They're just wrestlers. That's a fucking problem. Or it should be to all of you guys, all of us. It should be a problem. And we're just doing the same thing in 2022. The belt is already on Brock. And that's going to be his title now to go back to the fucking farm. And maybe at WrestleMania, he'll drop it. Jimmy Fingers 19, man. So much love and appreciation and respect over to you, man. I appreciate all the tea at this point that you're sending over to BC. Jimmy Fingers 19. Christopher Blackshear, another 199, says no more pay-per-views if they're going to be trash like this. Yeah, don't even put them on, man. because they have devalued the pay-per-view aspect to the point where I don't even know. I think it's buried to the point where I don't know if it can be uncovered. Pay-per-views are so fucking much garbage these days. You watch a pay-per-view and you go into it with no excitement at all. Back in the day, pay-per-views, you couldn't wait to see the whole card because for months you were building to all those matches. Now you're getting fucking cards built that day. You guys remember Extreme Rules? They were still putting matches together that day. Christopher Blackshear, no doubt, man. Jimmy Fingers 19, another 2019. Jimmy Fingers 19 says, I am hoping Liv Morgan walked by Vince and Gorilla, gave him the bird, and called an Uber to the same destination as Tony Storm. Only way to improve this mess is unify all the titles and the brand split. 8 T's and a tub of Vicks. I'm way past the 8 T's. I probably should do the Vicks. But you're exactly right, Jimmy Fingers 19, but I don't know if unifying is the answer right now, man. I know that's what everybody is claiming. I'm not seeing how that's going to rectify anything. If two things are broken, SmackDown and Raw, two things are broken, putting them together is not going to make this right. I would fix those pieces first. Fix that shit. And then if you want to unify in the future, go ahead. But if you can't even handle one brand, you honestly think making one whole company get one brand, I mean, it's not going to make it better. That's what I mean. I mean, this company has a million problems right now, and they refuse to solve any of them. No matter how large or small, they refuse to address any of these issues. Jimmy Fingers 19, dude. Amazing MVP status, dude. I appreciate the shit out of you. Thank you. Lisa, 279. The lady stole the show. Liv Morgan, for sure, Lisa. I couldn't believe what Liv Morgan did in there, man. Performance of her career. She owned her shit. She never hesitated. She never second-guessed herself. What a match by Morgan. For, again, that was 17 minutes with her and Bex. Lisa, thank you. Archimedes, 82, 5-spot. Owens after resign. Owens definitely got screwed after resigning. Imagine if he was supposed to get the title last night and then Brock fucking bumped him out. Oh, man, Owens would be pissed. I got to believe that Lashley was going to get it. But Archimedes 82, no doubt, man. Choke slam from Chico, 199. Pay-per-view logo, man. Trash Chico, Knoxville equals Arquette vibes. Arquette is going to be a bigger news story because he actually won the WCW title. But yeah, Johnny Knoxville in the Royal Rumble, it's going to be a goofball 3 minutes. Do you imagine if Vince had him in there for 30 fucking minutes? Thank you, brother. Osea Weidman, $9.99. BC Raw will be in my hometown, Greenville, South Carolina, live, and I'll be there representing the AMP unit. Rep us loud and proud, man. Amplify the unit over there in Greenville, South Carolina. Osea Weidman, have a good time. Try to, anyway. At least WWE, when you're there live and you're just around your peeps, you know, you can try to find a little bit more fun than if you were on your couch watching this fucking shit show. So, Osea Weidman, I appreciate that, man. Rep the AMP unit live. And loud, because that's what we are on this show. We're loud. Tristan Reynolds, 5-spot. Flip and turn it, LOL. That's what they do, Tristan. That's what they do, Tristan, you know? Eric Decker, 5-spot. Happy New Year, BC. Here's a coffee on me. I just had a coffee with Jim Beam Bourbon. Cram liquor. Is that the cream liquor? You should really try it. Yeah, well, I have to get over the weather. I'm under the weather now, and then I can worry about the fucking Jim Beam, man. But Eric Decker, I'm glad you're fucking pounding it down, dude. That makes me happy knowing that my AMP unit is having a good fucking new year already. Eric Decker, tried and true, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the coffee or the tea in this manner. And hopefully that is a Jim Beam in the future. Much love and respect to Eric Decker. JR9 with another 5, man. JR9 Gaming. Big E was to retain as post-match WWE on Fox tweeted a graphic that said Big E defeated Rollins, Lashley, and Owens as they obviously hasn't changed it yet. Oh, so JR9, you're telling me that Big E was going to retain, bro. So my boy JR9 broke that to BC just now. I didn't catch that earlier before the stream. So Big E was supposed to retain, and Vince just fucking overstretched and panicked. And what he does every fucking time, he either calls Goldberg or he puts a title on Goldberg, or he calls Brock or he puts a title on Brock. So Big E literally got done filthy last night. Thank you for confirming that, JR9 Gaming. Derek Fleming Jr., 199. Same fickle fans will whine about part-time Brock. Of course, man. You know, it's the same thing with Goldberg or Cody. When it's wrong, it's wrong. No, you can't find positive in how they did Big E here, man. No matter what, if you want to see Lashley and Lesnar, and this is the only way to get to it or not, man, you still have to feel real bad for Big E, man. He was not done dirty. He was done recklessly filthy last night. Damn, there's a lot more coming in. Hold on, man. PB Silipride, $9.99. Guys, I'm under the weather, man. Holy cow. I got to get a sip here, man. I'm losing my fucking breath here. There's a whole nother supers that came in this bitch. PB Silipride, $9.99. Every time I see Brock, it always reminds me of WrestleMania 20. He looks bored, looks like he isn't having any fun. Almost as if he is just there for the paycheck. Of course, man, he is there just for the paycheck. With this whole face run, Vince McMahon is just telling him to be more smiley. Right? Go out there with your little fucking farmer suspenders, smile, act like you want to be there. This dude just wants that check. He doesn't like pro wrestling. That's why Vince loves him. Brock can't stand pro wrestling, just like Vince. PB Silipride, thank you, man. Carlos with that 20, man. Carlos Ray, much love and appreciation, man. Thanks for sticking out another 2 hours with BC. Carlos says, Peacock would not allow me to watch the pay-per-view. Had to order it from direct. This morning, I received a Gmail saying that I had to sign up for Premium Plus $9.99 plan in order to watch pay-per-views. Unbelievable. Salute. They're going to get you any which way, Carlos. You're going to spend at least a fucking dime, and you're going to spend it for bullshit pay-per-view quality events, or now called premium events. They know they're not special anymore. Fuck is premium? What was premium about last night? Carlos, sorry to hear that, dude. That's probably more. Yeah, you still have to play the $9.99 plan. Carlos, give Vince our money, right? I mean, until this shit gets better. I used to buy $50 pay-per-views, Carlos, and I wanted to. Couldn't wait because I had to see every match on the card. Now $10 on fucking Peacock, and I'm like, fuck, it's not even worth it. Carlos, much love and respect to thank you. Batty Banks, 449. Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset are the Migos. Quavo, Takeoff, and Offset. So there's a guy named Quavo, there's a guy named Takeoff, and there's a guy named Offset. And they're the Migos. I'm going to stick with Phil Collins, guys. Little Def Leppard. How's that? I hope that's okay. I'll stick with my old school hip hop with fucking Biggie Smalls, my boy Tupac. I'll deal with my DMX, my Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know about these amigos. Maybe, though. Well, I'll give them a chance, maybe, man. I'll listen to some of their shit maybe later. Batty Banks, good to see you up in here. JR9 Gaming, another 5-man. JR says, at least for my 2022 roll-up stats, we started the year with 0 for 7 matches having a roll-up. Also, BC, I will be doing AEW's roll-ups this year so we can compare. Oh, please do, JR9. That would be badass, man. I very much enjoyed your statistics for the whole year roll-up tally. So I'm going to be very much looking forward to AEW's, dude. And always just love having you up in here, JR9. You make my job here much easier, especially when I'm under the weather. So I'll be looking forward to that, JR. PB Silipride, $4.99. I will always prefer brutal truth over sugar-coated BS. I appreciate that, PB Silipride. That's why you're tried and true. That's why you come to BC for your reviews and not some other schmuck in the community that's tiers, levels, stratospheres away and lower than BC. PB Silipride knows what's up. Hollywood Guy, 5-Spot Golf, he says, hey, BC, did you happen to notice the different way that they wrote day one on the ring and always speak the truth? I predict the same crap in 2022. I won't change, bro. I'm always going to spit that truth. You know that, Hollywood Guy. I appreciate it. And I did notice the logo switches as well, man. I chalked it up to straight stupidity, among other things. And yeah, I also predict the same shit out of this company until they prove otherwise or show us otherwise, that they're willing to change. Hollywood guy, appreciate it. John Vermette. Woo! You guys are fucking off the rails, man. I gotta catch my fucking breath. There's so many fucking supers, man. John Vermette, 2-spot. Happy New Year, BC. Right back to you, John, my tried and true from, I believe, Quebec. Glad to be back in the unit. Glad to have you, dude. Chubless the Bear, 1-spot. No word, just showing the love. Thank you, Chubless. B-Love, $4.99. BC, what up, my dude? What up, B-Love? Sorry I'm late, but praying Vince does the right creative thing and build to Lashley and Lesnar for WrestleMania. But Vince. Perfect comment there, B-Love. You can't trust this guy to do it, but I absolutely, B-Love. I'm okay with Lesnar and Lashley. Just build it up properly. That's all I'm asking, man. And you better find a way to rectify somebody you just did filthy like Big E. B-Love, I appreciate it, dude. And PB Silpride, $4.99. Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view. Sasha has been left out of the match 3 years straight. Not acceptable. I will exclamation point that, PB Silpride. Exclamation point. It is unacceptable that Sasha isn't tearing it up in those Rumbles. Because she is fucking badass. And I had everybody, but a few more just came in, so hold on. Network guy Dave, I haven't seen in a hot fucking minute. What up, dude? 10-spot by Network guy Dave. What up, BC in the AMP unit? Happy New Year. It's been a while, but I've been watching your vids and leaving likes. Day one proved that the brand split needs to end ASAP. At least after WrestleMania 38. Okay, but Network guy Dave, you gotta put the house in order first, man. Get Raw in a better condition before you just unify it with another brand, because nothing's gonna get better if we take two broken divisions, two broken brands, I should say, and stuff them together. It's going to be just a bigger circus. I'm just not on board with just unifying everything. I don't get why everybody's just going to the unification strategy. That's our answer for everything all the time. I just don't understand it. But yeah, at least you said after WrestleMania 38. So even Network guy Dave knows, like, give it time, start building shit, make things better now with your brands. Then unify in the future. That I'm okay with. Absolutely, Network guy Dave. And it's good to have you back up in here, dude. And thank you. Even though I haven't heard from you in a while, you're dropping those ups, dude. So I appreciate that. In fact, we have over 400 now. We're going to 500 on the up. So everybody that took a moment to smash that like button, dude, I appreciate the hell out of you guys. That's going to help out the algorithm later. Network guy Dave, I appreciate it. Good to see you up in here. Wow, guys. I don't know how I just did that. Under the weather, I can barely fucking breathe as it is. And we just went through fucking like 137 super chats. Not to mention an hour and a half plus of a good, the bad, and the ugly review. You say BC's the best. You wouldn't be lying. But I got another fact. You guys are the fucking best. And that's the truth. My AMP unit. Till next time, it'll be the Raw review when we next see each other, man, and talk about pro wrestling. WWE. It's going to be Monday Night Raw. I hope to do that live, but if not, either way, you're going to get a full throttle. Whether I'm under the weather still or not, you're going to get a full throttle review of Monday Night Raw. So hopefully you guys will join me then. To the hundreds of you guys that joined me live, to the thousands that'll tune in the next 24 hours, I thank every one of you for clicking, smashing that up, showing the love, handling amplified truth. Just being an AMP unit member. If you went so far as you smashed the subscription button, welcome to the AMP unit family, man. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. We are a full throttle, amplified, crazy unit. But we're also a lot of fun. So we'll check you guys, man. Oh, Network guy Dave with a 10 spot at the end of this motherfucker. Network guy says exactly. They need to clean up both brands and they need to bring back jobbers to help build up the superstars. Vince needs to go back to the vault and see what made WWF successful. And I missed WWF. Oh, me too, bro. Network guy Dave. The second they change it to WWE, I'm like, oh shit, this is already going to be a bad fucking omen to what's to come for Vince. And then it just went entertainment from there, dude. But yeah, no doubt. Clean up both brands, and then you can start thinking about unification. Jobber matches are the only way to truly build a superstar up, because that's the only way they're not going to be 50-50 booked. And Vince needs to remember what the fuck brought him to the dance. Everything network guy Dave just said right there. Exclamation point that shit. Network guy. Great to have you back, man. Derek Fleming Jr. at the tail end of this motherfucker with a 199. Why is it so hard for Vince to just give good TV? He can do it. We say he's dumb and he's lost his touch and all that, and a lot of that may be true, but he has not lost the reality of what it takes to put into a good story and a good match that we care about. He knows what it takes. He is so damn stubborn, and his ego is so big, he doesn't feel he has to give us any more than the bare minimum. And that same ego, that same stubbornness is the reason that he's going backwards in the ratings. Don't be surprised if another company passes him by in the very near future. Derek Fleming Jr., I appreciate it. Hey, guys. Check you later. What a fucking stream, dude. This has been a lot of fun. Even under the weather, I had a fucking kick-ass 2 hours. I'm going to let you guys go about your Sunday, man. Green Bay Packers versus the Vikings tonight, man. Even if you're not a football fan. Put those ups up for my Packers, man. Tonight, man. It's a big matchup for us, dude. It's our division. It's the Vikings. So if you're not a football fan, do me a favor. Be a Packer fan tonight, man. Put up those emojis for the Packers. Not in the chat. You don't have to. But tonight, man, just say a little, please be with the Packers. It's a big game for us, man. Big game for us. Kick ass on this Sunday, guys. Thank you. Peace out. Wait, we got to go out the fucking right way. What are we doing over here? Where's my fucking music? Put that shit up, man. Why the fuck they took it off? Where the fuck is it? They took my theme music off. How the fuck you gonna take my... That's what I thought. They knew I was ending this stream. They knew I was gonna whoop that ass if they didn't start playing that fucking music. Salute, everybody. Yeah! Ha ha! Yeah! Yeah!